This whole series is becoming exhausting. Ugh. It's good. It's really good. It's just... Oh my god. I have got so many different things to keep in line. It's ridiculous. It's like trying to solve the mystery behind who actually killed everyone in Clue. And I actually tried that. I think I know the answer, but I haven't concluded anything yet. I could say the same thing about this series. Every episode, another chunk of history revealed. Or they add on to what we already know. It is just incredibly exhausting trying to keep all this straight. The one thing I definitely know is, one, this is a messed up place. There is so much going on with that. It's ridiculous. Two, it seems like this house just attracts the most psychotic people on the planet. It doesn't help that a psychotic is the one who built the manor, house, whatever you want to call it. Three, ghosts end up going there. Anyone who ends up dying there apparently stays there. They're locked in, like some kind of prison. I don't know if it's just when their remains are left there. I know that definitely when their remains are left there, that their spirit is still there. We found that out with Moira. We found that out with Hayden, and I had suspected after I uploaded the previous video that she might be coming back. I was just hoping she wouldn't. Oh, 4, we know that on Halloween, spirits can roam free even from the constraints of the house. Which explains why Moira and Tate finally are seen outside of the property line. 5, we know that there is some kind of need to tear down every owner of this house. 6, we know that all previous owners of this house, at least thus far, have been tied to the property somehow. Either they wanted to stay or there was something that kept them there, despite the struggles they were having. Forget about the numbers. We know a few other things now. 1, the gay guys have been introduced, and it seems like they had the same kind of situation that the Harmons have. Struggling couple trying to make things work out and bring a child into their family. Financial troubles, and some kind of fissure has grown between them, and it did have a sexual nature behind it. We know that the gimp is more than just a costume. It's like the symbol, or the armor, even, of some kind of guardian. Whomever's wearing it, I don't really care, but whoever sees that thing roaming around is instantly frightened by it, at least with their spirit. It seems to be some kind of violent and very vicious figure. I suspect that Tate is that figure, because he wore it, but I don't know if others have worn it in the past. The problem is you don't really get a whole lot of facial features, and the body is so slim it could really be anybody. But that is like the dominating figure in the house. No pun intended, considering he's a gimp. But apparently this figure can keep control and order in the house, but also acts as a way of collecting on investments, to say the least. To kill anyone that is an owner, maybe. Other owners have died, and other residents have died without the gimp being around that we know of. So there's more to him than is being revealed right now. Yeah. Aiden is probably going to be a big problem. I'm hoping that the Gimp puts control over her. I'm pretty sure that the Gimp did something to Larry. I don't know just yet because this episode is part 1 of a 2-part storyline, segment of the storyline. So I don't know what's going to happen in part 2. I just know that things are coming to a head and Ben has got to come clean. He cannot keep this secret. Even if it tears his family apart, it's doing more damage the longer he keeps all this a secret. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff he doesn't understand, but if he doesn't come clean about what he knows and what he is witnessing and experiencing, all kinds of shit's gonna happen. And somebody has to come clean to the Harmons as to what's really going on. The gay guys tried, and that's probably what brought out the Gimp, is that they crossed the line. Holy shit. Actually, this brings up a good question. How the hell did Constance get out of the house? I mean, she's still connected to it in her own way, but she wasn't killed. She's still very much alive, as far as I can tell. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Addie, which is another frustration of mine, because these writers, they make you really annoyed and even hate somebody, and then they make you sympathize with them and watch as they go through a tragedy. I actually am starting to feel sorry for Constance. I felt sorry for Addie. It was all an accident, but still, Addie dying like that. And of course, Larry was another topic. He's wanting that money. He's pounding at the door, and of course, Ben's trying to keep the secret, and everything's falling apart. And that's what happens when you build a house of cards connected with lies. It always falls down. The slightest breeze, the knock of the table, bad luck in the way it was put together. Any of those things. And we don't know what's going on with the baby, but we know that there's something really wrong with that child. I don't know if the nurse necessarily fainted or she had a seizure at that very moment, because in this story, either of those is a possibility that may actually have happened. Oh, God. One of the things that's causing a problem for me is a while ago, before I even saw the first episode, I did see someone's video talking about this, and they revealed who the Gimp was. They revealed things about the Harmon family that really were a big spoiler to me. And actually, I was talking to someone about this, and before I even saw this episode, I was informed that Addie would die. I really don't like it when that happens, but to be honest, the story is so intriguing, I want to see where it goes. And even though I know certain things are going to happen, I'm interested to see not the end, but how we get there. The journey here is really the selling point. It's not the conclusion. And that is probably what the strongest point of this entire series is at this point, is the journey is so engaging and cryptic, interesting, intriguing, while still being emotionally engaging. It's really intense. It does get frightening. It does get scary. There are plenty of characters in this season that I do not like, but the story in and of itself keeps me going on. And there is so much left up in the air. I don't know if I'll really get answers to everything. This is such a huge web of information. I probably will have to put out a video just cataloging the chronological order of all the events that happened in this house. Not so much so that I can get more video views, but so I can figure out what the hell is going on in this household. Oh, excuse me. Halloween's not over yet for the Harmons. And even though Vivian has grown a spine, she is not very collective in her tirade. She is essentially a hurricane going through, which is making it all the more difficult for Ben to talk to her because her tantrums usually end in things getting torn off the walls, whether it be Halloween decorations or wallpaper. Though, to be fair, she wasn't in a tirade when she tore off the wallpaper, but still, she's essentially a hurricane. God only knows what kind of, well, you know what kind of child she would bear, because Violet's actually really cool. I still like her, though things are coming to a head. It's just I don't see when it's all going to explode. When is this powder keg finally going to blast? I would be interested to see if the Harmons survive this, that they don't actually die, but they live. It would be very interesting to see if there's a way that they not only live in the house, but are able to stay there happily. Now granted, that's the kind of storybook ending that horror normally tries to stay away from, but this story is so interesting that it almost would feel like a cop-out for them all to die after all we've been through. I mean, they were fucked up before they got to the house. And as far as I know, all the people that have died there had their lives torn apart after they moved in. And there is a specific reason why the Harmons are being kept there. So, they have a purpose, and they have something unique about them. Well, actually more than one unique thing because of that baby, which who knows what that's going to be like. And Tate revealing that there was a child that was pieced together in that basement and is still in that house. I'm guessing that was the man baby I saw previously in the first episode. Seeing those red-headed brats again was interesting. By interesting, I mean more to the fact that Ben didn't notice that they had huge gashes on their face, but he probably thought it was just makeup. He's kind of dense like that. There's this one thing about psychiatrists that I hate, or doctors in general, in any kind of horror story. They are ignorant. And what I mean by they are ignorant is they are highly educated to the point where their education puts blinders on them, where they have to see everything in the scientific light of what they know, and no one else could possibly know anything beyond what they know unless they are professional. And even if they're a professional, if something is just too outrageous for them to believe, they won't believe it. I am looking forward to seeing where this series goes, where this season goes, what the next episode will bring, because it is the second part of this whole Halloween thing, which, you know, give them props. They managed to make a Halloween episode that wasn't stupid, because there's a lot of television series that try to do Halloween but do something stupid with it, and this one actually feels like it's business as usual, but we've got this extra little thing going on where spirits get to roam free and all these kinds of people come out of the woodwork. Actually, there's a curious question. This realtor, how the hell did she contact those guys, the couple that came to decorate the house? And were those actually the people? Oh, boy. I'm wondering if maybe the realtor is actually someone who is dead. It's quite possible. Why wouldn't it be? Well, more to come. The series continues to be interesting. I continue to be intrigued, and I will continue to make these videos. I hope you're all enjoying this thus far, and please feel free to leave any comments you have in the comment section below. But remember, no spoilers. Just talk about what's happened thus far. See you in the next one.